Okay, we should be all right. We're recording. So again, today is Wednesday, March the 13th. Welcome everybody. Just a couple of announcements before we get started. Your midterm exam is this coming Friday on March the 15th. It will cover chapters 3, 4, and 5. I have already posted the study guide, so it's in the folder marked study guides on Blackboard. You can access that, and I've highlighted, I think, some of the key areas that you need to pay attention to. So your midterm exam or exam 2 is Friday, March the 15th. It will open at 6 a.m. And it will close at midnight. I believe that you will have 75 minutes, unless otherwise noted, to complete the exam. If you have any problems, any technical difficulties, please send me an email right away. There is no class on Friday, so you have all of Friday to focus on your exam. So there's no class on Friday, March the 15th. I will be attending the Rural Life Conference, so I'll have limited access. Probably between 10 and 12, I will have very limited access because I will be hosting a student session with high schoolers. So I have very limited access between 10 and 12. But if you reach out to me earlier, I should be able to respond. Or if you reach out to me probably after 1 o'clock, the conference ends, I believe, around 1 o'clock. So anytime after that, but I will do my best to respond to you as quickly as possible. So there's no class on Friday. So are there any questions about the exam before I move on to the activity that I want to engage you with today? Any questions? Okay. Hearing none, I am going to provide you with a couple of opportunities to see if you are prepared for the exam on Friday. And so I have a couple of questions that I am going to launch, and you will be able to see those questions. You can choose your answer, and then we can go through and we can discuss them. So I am going to relaunch the first set of questions, and they're about 7 questions, so you should be able to see it. And I want you to please let me know if you can see it. So I am going to launch them now. And it should show up on your screen. Can you see the questions on your screen? And I need somebody to respond to me because all of you have your cameras off and you're muted.
Yes, ma'am.
You can see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and take some time and answer those questions. There are 7 questions there. And then we will go back and we will review them and see where you are. And I can kind of see how you are looking at the questions. So I think it's one at a time. And once you answer one question, it should go on to the next question. Is that right? Because I can't see how it's looking to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's right. So you see one question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then you'll see the next question. So take a moment. It is 1:05. I'm going to give you, because it's only 7 questions, so I'm going to give you to 1:15. And there are 4 of you here. And so when I see that all 4 people have responded, then I will end it, and then we'll go and review it, and then we'll go to the next set of questions. Okay. Any questions about anything?
Yeah.
Dr. Bennett, I can't see the questions.
Okay. Let's see. What about the rest of you? Kennedy and Tamaya, can you see the questions?
I can see the questions,
Yeah.
but I just had to, in order for me to answer them, to answer you, I had to unmute myself, which means I had to close it.
Okay, okay.
So,
Shia, are you on your phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's probably why. So you should be able to maybe move your screen over or move it up on your phone so that you can see the questions. Because when you're on the computer, you can see them in front of you, but when you're on your phone, you can only see, for example, I think you can see me right now, but you may have to either move your phone over or turn it the long way so that you can see. And I'm
Shia,
not sure. Go ahead.
go at the bottom where you like unmute yourself and everything, and scroll like the bottom, and you're gonna see something that says more with 3 dots. And when you click on it, click on polls and quizzes.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Mr. Roy, you should be able to see the questions on the screen. So we are engaging in just a exam prep. We have 7 questions in this first set of questions. So I have given you guys until 1:15, but it's 1:10 and only 2 of you have answered the questions so far. We're going to discuss them once you finish, once I see that everybody has completed the questions. So looks like 3 of you have done it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 people here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all right, it looks like all of you have completed it. Okay, very good. Let's see where we are. All right, so you feel good about your answers? Everybody's good? All right, so we are going to review it, and let's see where we are. Okay. And I'm now sharing the results. Okay, can you see the results? Can somebody let me know if you can see the results?
Yes, ma'am, I can see it.
Okay, good. Okay. So I'm gonna make it bigger so at least you can see. So the first question says, studies show that boys are becoming less focused on casual sex and more focused on romance. And all of you chose false. This is actually in chapter 5, and the correct answer is true, as you can see here. So studies are showing that boys are becoming less focused on casual sex and more focused on romance, that men fall in love more quickly than women, and that society has expectations concerning a man's ability to demonstrate love. So even though all of you had that as false, you see the correct answer is actually true, and that comes from chapter 2. The second question talks about attachment theory, and we spent a great deal of time talking about the 3 types of attachment. And so we have, I'm sorry, phone is ringing. Okay, so we have 3 types of attachment. You have the secure attachment, the my notes, secure attachment, missing the second page, insecure, anxious attachment, and avoidant attachment. So a couple of you said less ambivalent about emotional closeness and attachment, and that is the correct answer. Which type of attachment does fear of abandonment refer to? Anybody?
Insecure. Insecure.
Yep. Yep, you're right. It refers to the insecure. So thank you. And I want you to be able to hopefully think through your answer to the question so that you understand why you are choosing the particular question that you are choosing. So just make sure that you know why that's not the right answer, because fear of abandonment refers to insecure attachment. Okay, arranged marriages. Arranged marriages involve spouses selecting their partners and doing a thorough background check. One of you said true, and 4 of you said false. Anybody can tell me why it is not true? What are arranged marriages? Who are they arranged by?
So like parents.
Yep,
Family.
exactly. That's right. So arranged marriages are arranged by the parents of the 2 couples, and you're more likely to see that in places like Asia and Africa. We don't see that too much here in the United States, but you see it mostly in your Eastern countries. So again, just making sure that you understand why that is not the correct answer. All right, number 3, social exchange theory. Number 3 says number 4 says social exchange theory depends on the rewards and costs. 2 of you selected that. Is the first step in minimizing mate selection. And 2 of you say is all about beauty status exchange. And so the correct answer is it depends on rewards and costs. So remember, the exchange is all about what I'm giving, and it's all about what I am receiving. And so that is also discussed, the social exchange theory, I believe it's discussed in chapter 5. So just make sure that you are paying attention to that, right? All right, so it's not about beauty status exchanges. It's about what you can do for me. And so it's about the rewards and the costs. And even though you saw that word exchange, which is why I put it there, it is not about necessarily your beauty, although beauty can be the rewards and costs. And we know about trophy wives, and we know about trophy husbands, right? So your status is elevated because of how the person looks. But again, it's all about the benefit of the reward and the cost. What do I have to give, and what can I expect in exchange? All right, number 5. So what is gender? And 4 of you said it is social construction, distinguishes in terms of attributes that are related to girls and boys. Why is the second choice not correct? Male and female anatomy and physiology. Why is that not correct?
Yeah, that's I did that. That wasn't correct.
Okay, and why is it not correct? What is that
because
refer
it's
to?
the sex of the sex of the child.
That's right.
That I make that mistake. Yeah.
That's right. And so remember, make sure that you are able to distinguish. And that question comes from chapter 4 about our sexual selves. So you are definitely going to see questions about the difference between sex and, excuse me, gender. So make sure that you don't get, hemmed up on that. Okay, so that comes from, that question about gender and sex comes from chapter 4. And then the interactionist perspective. And we talked about the different theoretical perspectives back in chapter 2. And so you're going to continue to see them throughout all of the chapters. And so all of you, okay, chose that it emphasizes interpersonal negotiation, and that is correct, right? So it's all about the context of the sexual script, about how we engage with one another. And so that also comes out of chapter 4. And then number 7, gender equity. And you see the key word there. What's the key word in that question? Anybody? What's the key word?
Equity.
Equity. Yeah. Equity is the key word. So even though you saw gender, make sure that you're paying attention to the rest of the question. So the question asked about what is gender equity, and gender equity is, it ensures that women and girls and men and boys have an equal chance, and that should say chance, an equal chance, not only at the starting point, but when they finish. And so gender identity is your inner concept of self as a male or female. So the key word here was equity. All right. Any thoughts about, and I have shared this. So any thoughts about that quiz? And you'll see questions like that again. Any thoughts about that? How did you feel? And that was just 7 questions. So how did you feel?
It didn't feel bad. I can definitely say, it was certain questions at first, I couldn't answer right then and there. I had to skip them and come back to, because I did get a little confused. But after we just went over them, I feel a little bit more confident in certain questions, a part of certain chapters.
Okay, good. And so my goal today is to talk you through it, or to help you think about how you can talk through the question. So you know that you have a certain amount of time. And so Miss Hullum just talked about a possible strategy, right? So if you don't know the answer to that question, move forward. Right. And you'll notice that some of the questions were very similar, and you'll see on this next round of questions, some of the questions have similar wording. And so I tried to choose chapters 3, 4, and 5. And remember, the chapters were about gender, about sex, and about mate selection. So all of those things kind of, go in together. So just be mindful about that. Read the question, read it carefully, make sure that you understand. And so Ms. Rogers, the question about sex and gender, right? So just make sure you know that sex is all about the physiology, right? It's all about the biology, whereas gender is socially constructed. And so if you can make the distinction between those two words, those two concepts, you'll do very well. The other question, I think it said gender equity, and Shia, said, the key word. You may have focused on the gender part, but I don't want you to miss the other part of the question. So it was asking not just about gender, but about equity. And so what is equitable? What is fair? What are we doing to make sure that both males and females have an equal part? Okay, so I am going to launch the second set of questions. see. Let's see. There we go. Oh, all right, here we go. And these are only 5 questions, okay? So you have a little bit of time. It's 1:25, so it should take you maybe about 10 minutes to do. All right, so they are up and you have a few minutes. And as soon as I see that everybody is done, then I'll end it and I'll reveal the results. You all can't see them, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, okay.
It didn't let me answer all of them. And am I able to go back?
You should be able to, is it timed or something, or is it just on your screen?
I'm sure it's just me.
No, well, see if you can go back, because it's not timed and I don't think I have anything on it that says that you can't go back. Can somebody else answer her? Can you
Are you on your phone or on your computer?
she was asking whoever that was, maybe it was Miss Hullum. You're on your phone. She's on her phone, Miss Hullum. So,
Okay. If she's on her phone,
mm-hmm.
click the screen and then where it says mute, share video,
Right, you
and
go to the more
start
options.
video, you should be. Mm-hmm. And then click polls or quizzes, and it should pop up.
Okay, I'm waiting on one more person. 3 people have answered, and it says I'm waiting on one more. So I'm not sure who that is. All right, awesome. Okay, looks like everybody has answered. Let's see, 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, very good. All right, here we go. So let's see how we did. And I'm going to share the results. Okay, can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Okay, so which one is not one of Sternberg's theory of love? So anybody want to answer what the 3 parts are to his theory? And that'll help you to eliminate. What are the 3 parts? Anybody?
The 3 parts is intimacy, commitment, and passion.
Yep, intimacy, commitment, and passion. And so communication is not one of them. And I put an extra C there on purpose. So if you know what the 3 are, or if you see this as an essay question, then you know that intimacy, commitment, and passion are the 3 parts of his theory. Which one fades first quickly? Anybody? Which one fades first?
Passion.
Passion. Yep. Okay, so passion fades first. So again, if you see this, you need to know, you need to know what the 3 parts are, so that if you see a question like this again, you know which one to eliminate. You may not necessarily know, if you know what the 3 parts are, then at least it will help you to know, okay, well, I know that this one does not belong. Okay, feminine traits. Let's talk about this one. And this number 1 question, it comes from chapter 5. Feminine traits comes from chapter 3 on gendered identities. And so feminine traits, according to your book, are thought to be communal and expressive. And these traits lead towards accomplishments of improved relationships. So being warm, being sensitive, being tender, being empathetic. Assertive is associated with being a male trait. Okay, so again, this is based on your book, not necessarily what we would like for it to be, but this is based on your book. So 3 of you got number 2 right. All right. Number 3, mainstream culture values masculinity more highly than femininity. And all of you got that right. The answer is true. And that also comes out of chapter 3. Okay. Number 4, the typical men and women overlap. Today, typical men and women overlap in their masculinity and femininity qualities. And 3 of you answered this correctly. So today, we are overlapping in how we define ourselves as masculine and feminine. And again, this question comes out of chapter 3. Okay, so the correct answer is true. And then number 5. Number 5 also comes out of chapter 3. And it comes out of the section on race and ethnic diversity and gendered expectations. And so see if I can move my screen up. African American women have a higher rate. And the question is, which statement is not correct? Okay, is not correct. So again, making sure that you're reading the question. So the answer that is not correct is the one that you all did not choose. So all three of them, the ones that you chose, they refer to African Americans, right? Okay, so show correct answers to everybody. And any questions about this group of questions? So this came mostly from chapter 3. Any comments, questions about this one?
I'm sorry, I may have misunderstood, but what was the answer to number 5?
Number 5 is the last choice. Cultural images depict as submissive. Cultural images depict women as submissive and men as machismo. Is there a key word in that sentence that would have told you what the correct answer is?
Culture.
Nope. Anybody else? Oops. Anybody else? The word machismo. Machismo is associated with Hispanic families. And so I thought that you would have seen that and got that. So that's why that question is not correct. Cultural images in Hispanic families, cultural images, gender expectations in Hispanic communities see women as very submissive and men as having extreme masculinity. I'm the person in charge. They see male dominance, even though Hispanics don't necessarily live up to that image, but that is the cultural image, that is the cultural expectation. And when you watch a lot of movies, when you see Hispanics portrayed in that movie, it tends to come this way. The women are high strung, and they are very expressive and very emotional, and they're throwing things. But the men, they are the ones that are in charge. They are the ones that have power. They are the ones that have authority. So that is why that question was not correct. Okay. So I'll stop sharing. Any thoughts about those group of questions in the last few minutes that we have? How did you feel about those set of questions? And that was just 5. So you did 12 questions. So I don't know if you were keeping score about what you did right and what you did wrong, but what are your takeaways from reviewing these 12 questions on the 3 chapters?
It was helpful. It was very helpful.
Okay. Anybody else? So just remember to read, look for key indicators or keywords that will help you to figure out what the correct answer is to the question. Take your time, but hurry up, because it is a timed exam. But don't be so rushed. And as Ms. Hullum said, if you can't answer that question, move on to the next one. Come back to it, and maybe another question on the exam may give you a hint to that particular question. So if you are going through the exam and you skip over some questions, I would encourage you maybe to write down those numbers so you know which questions to come back to, so that you're not losing time trying to figure out, oh my gosh, what was the question that I didn't answer? Where was it? So, make sure that you are preparing yourself when you start taking the exam, when you start to take the exam, because once you start, you have to finish it. Again, if there are any technical difficulties, please make sure that you reach out to me. I will respond to you as soon as I can. I would encourage you to go ahead and get the exam out of the way rather than waiting until the last minute. I know that maybe your schedules may dictate, when you take the exam, but, try to make sure that you're taking it maybe in a quiet environment, early morning, or maybe after you get out, come home from work. But if you have children and all of that, so just think about those things and making sure that you are doing it in a quiet environment. Do not try to take this exam on your phone, because you can't see the whole screen. You have to scroll, and it makes it really, really difficult. So I would encourage you. We have computer labs here on campus. You are welcome. I know that in Human Sciences building in Woodard Hall, there are computer labs there. So if you're physically able, and of course you can go to the library. So if you're physically able to come on campus and you don't have connectivity where you are, you don't have access to a computer, please come on campus and take that. It will be very busy on campus. We are expecting about 400 people for the Rural Life Conference. So it's going to be a little busy here on campus. But again, if that's what you can do to be able to take the exam, then Chrome, Blackboard works best with Chrome. So make sure that you have that as well. Are there any questions that I have from anybody before we close out? It's right at 1:50. Any questions from anybody? All right, we're hearing none. I wish you all the best. Please access the study guide. You have the PowerPoints. Hopefully you're reading the chapter. And again, if I can be of any assistance between now and say Friday morning, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And the exam will open at 6 a.m. On Friday. Everybody have a good afternoon, and thank you again for joining me today. I will
Thank you,
be in
Dr.
touch
Bennett.
with you. Have a great spring break, as a matter of fact. So please be careful, and I will see you all on the 25th. All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Uh-huh.